What is up, everyone? We are live, our second live stream in less than 24 hours. Looks like we already got 4 people in the room. Thanks for joining me, guys. Looks like this scheduling the live stream actually does work. I had a lot of people text me and stuff about being a part of this live stream, so I appreciate you guys showing up. We already have, well, we lost 2 viewers already. We have 2 viewers in the room. I'm sure some of you were at the other live stream or were at the other live stream I did, which was my initial run of the live stream. Basically, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just figuring all this live stream stuff out. So hope you guys can hear me okay. Group to Matrix. Hey, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining us. The reason I'm doing this live stream is the other one was just a test run. That's why it's second live stream in less than 24 hours. So it was a test run just to see if I could get it figured out and get it going. And I had a lot of people contact me and they were disappointed because I did it at 12 a.m. And I was doing it at 12 a.m. because I really didn't think anybody was going to be in the room or was going to show up. And I ended up with like 15 people. So it ended up going for a whole hour. Look at that. We got the Van Life Sheldon's Travels. What's up, guys? Mike and Steph, so good to see you in here. Thanks for joining us. Where are you guys at? You guys are on your way back to RTR? Mike and Steph, Van Life Sheldon's Travels. If you do not know who they are, they're really good friends of mine. So be sure to check out their YouTube channel, Van Life Sheldon's Travels on YouTube. They were in Florida, and I guess you guys are on your way back. Oh, we got Matilda back in here. Hi, Matilda. Happy Friday. We got 6 people watching. So the way I have this set up, guys, if you're wondering why I keep looking down and I'm not looking at the camera, I have the camera set up here, but down here is my screen that has all of my chat and everything, so I can look at the chat and see what's going on. So you won't catch me looking at the camera most of the time. I'll be looking down here at the screen. Anyway, we got 6 people in here. Let's see. Okay, I just had to click over. I wanted to see how we were doing live there on YouTube, and I'm getting some reverbs, but let me cut that out. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. I thought we would do a little bit more chat tonight about the RTR that's coming up. I actually made some show notes. Where's my patriotic mic? I actually changed out because I'm kind of going with this black and white motif for the live stream. Kind of gotten away from the patriotic mic, but I still have it. And if I get enough people requesting it, I'll probably bring it back since I just purchased that mic not too long ago. Yeah. But I always wear my flag jacket with my with that mic, and I was getting some plosives, so I needed this mic with the windscreen on it to do the live stream. Sounds good, and I'm a sound engineer. You selling Bertha this weekend, huh? Group to Matrix, thank you so much, because I struggle so much with trying to get this sound right on my videos and everything, because I am not a sound guy. I really appreciate that coming from a sound engineer. Most people usually just bitch about my sound setup. Yeah, if everything goes right, Group to Matrix, I really hope I get Bertha sold this weekend. That's really on my agenda. Todd Johnson just joined us. Hello, Todd. How are you? Hope you're doing good. Sounds great. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. So we got 11 people in the room. Let's see if we can beat last night, because last night, or this morning actually, at 12 a.m., we had 15 people. So hopefully we can top that tonight. Yeah, Van Life Sheldon's Travels. It would be great if I sold Bertha, because that would give me the money to finance building out my Snap-on truck Spirit. That's one reason people keep asking me about my Snap-on truck and how come I really haven't started building it out. Mostly it's because of the funds. I have the funds tied up in the purchase of that truck, and until I sell my other RV, I don't really have just to splurge and just go buy all the stuff I need to build out my new truck. And I don't want to just do it a little bit at a time. I don't want to be living in a construction zone. So I really haven't done much of anything other than installing an office. Mike and Stephanie from Van Life Sheldon's Travels, they've actually seen my truck, seen my office set up. and the way I've got it set up now. But it still has I still need to build a whole kitchen. I'm going to build a shower and a whole bathroom and those things. So those are in the future. Let's see. You're not going to finance it yourself, are you? No, I decided not to do that. I actually asked that question in a group, and with the feedback I got, I pretty much decided against that. Uh, though it's hard to find people with cash. I never realized it would be so hard to find somebody with cash to buy my other rig, because it's out of the stipulations or the year where you can just go to a bank and get a bank loan on it. It's not new enough. It's an 82. So basically somebody's got to have cash in their pocket to be able to come and buy it. And I'm flexible on the price. If I find somebody that really wants it and I think would take care of it. But as of now, I haven't had anyone come up with more than $7,000, and I don't really see letting it go for 7,000. I had planned on I was going to let it go for 7,500 to Cece, who lost her van at the van build when her van burned down. She had like 7,800 raised in her GoFundMe to replace her rig. And if she had been interested, I was going to let it go for 7,800 or whatever it was that her GoFundMe was, or a little bit less, so she'd have a little bit of money left in her pocket. But they weren't interested. So that's why I kept it. Van in financing it would be a nightmare. Yes, I agree. To be honest with you, though, the reason I thought about the financing it was the person that wants to finance it. They were going to give me $3,000 down, and then they were going to pay $500 a month. And that would have been up for 2 years. So it would have been a little bit over my asking price, because they were going to finance it for exactly 24 months or 2 years at $500 a month. And I liked the sound of that $500 a month. If I just knew for a fact that I could guarantee that they would actually make the payments, I would just soon do that as I would get cash for it. I know everybody else is about getting cash. The only reason I was about getting cash is it's hard to trust people. And then I started thinking about what if they start paying? What if they wreck it? What if they take off in it? A whole bunch of things. And it's a younger guy that wants to do van life, and he's here in LA. We got the metro going by. I'm right by the train tracks, guys. Told everybody last night, or my last live stream, that we were by the train tracks. Oh, Bugs Bunny. What's up? Okay, Bugs. Anyway, we were right by the train track, so you may hear a train going by from time to time. But anyway, I like the idea of getting $500 a month, but then it would make it hard to finance the build up of my truck I have now. Let's see what we got going here in the chat. Are you talking about Bertha or the Snap-on? Nocturnal, I am talking about both. I'm talking about selling Bertha. I would sell the Snap-on truck too, because I found another rig that I really like. But the problem is finding somebody with the cash to buy either one of them. Bugs Bunny, that was cute. Thanks, Matilda. Let's see, who else do I have here? Let's see. Thanks, Matilda. There's your bouquet of flowers. I have this new software that I bought last night to be able to do this live stream, and it's got all this. It's got all of this stuff on it. I'm just messing around with it. So anyway, I guess some of you are probably wondering, why am I live streaming again when I did it less than 24 hours ago? So this is one of my New Year's resolutions. My friends Van Life Sheldons that are in the room with us here now, my friend Paul Barger, several of my other YouTube friends have always asked me, why are you not doing live streams? And basically, I just didn't know exactly how to get it all set up, because I didn't want to just do it on my phone like a lot of people do. I actually wanted to do it more in a studio setup the way I have it here with my regular Nikon DSLR and my mic here and my mixer and everything else. So it took me a little bit to figure it out to get it all working correctly. So yeah, I'm making test runs. I wanted to be able to schedule this one today and learn how to use the scheduling thing from YouTube, so you could schedule it so it would put out a notification that I would be live at a certain time. This stuff is all new to me, so I'm just learning it. So please be patient with me, because it's not exactly. I'm not exactly an old. I'm not. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not a pioneer at this live streaming thing. I am a noob. I've been doing the YouTube thing for a long time, but not the live stream thing. I did a live stream probably about a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago on my phone. And I basically turned it on one day and then I looked at it. And then as soon as some people came on, I got the deer in the headlights look and I just turned it off. I didn't know what to say. Van Life Sheldon's Travels, you like to go live. Yeah, you guys have a great live stream. And one reason that I really wanted to get this live stream going is if you're not a YouTuber, you probably don't realize that YouTube is a lot of work and it takes me about a day to put a video together. If I'm going to do a video for Nomad News, I usually start about 4 p.m. and I usually finish it up about 2:30, 3 a.m. in the morning. And I upload it as soon as I get finished editing it. So it takes some time to do that. And I think with these live streams, if I do maybe one a week, one every 2 weeks or something like that, it'll keep my channel from just going stale. And I'm planning on just doing these live streams for 1 hour, 1 hour, as long as my camera can do an hour and everything will run and I don't have any technical difficulties. I plan on just running each one of these for an hour. So right now we have 16 people in the room. We're at 11 minutes and 20 seconds and we have 9 thumbs up. If you haven't done a thumbs up, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, please give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. Focusing, not stay in focus. Now what? Am I out of focus? Van in? No, I am doing the art group to matrix. I am doing the I have my Snap-on truck I live in. This is my office. A lot of people can't figure that out. This is my work. This is my office. Yeah, this is my work, my office. So I live in my Snap-on truck, which is parked right out on the street. Where my office is here, I leave when I shut this down tonight. I'll leave my office and I'll walk. I have to walk to the end of the block and go around because there's railroad tracks right here. So you'll hear the train come by from time to time tonight. But I go out and then my truck's parked on the street over by the park. Oh, Van Life Sheldon says it looks great on your end. Awesome. Good to hear that. I really tried to get this tweaked. It was a little bit dark. I had some complaints on my first one that the lighting was a little bit off, so I tried to get it lit a little bit better tonight. What Nikon did you use? Cat Quinn. I'm live streaming this on a Nikon D7000, the exact camera that you have. And just for this is one of my it's an old backup body that I have for my photography. And this camera is practically brand new. I've never used it. And this is probably the most it's been used since I've had it, is doing this live stream. It's probably taken maybe 400 pictures. And I've had it for years, since the 7000. It's a year or two after the 7000 came out. Terry Bradbury, are you selling Bertha? Yes, Terry, I am selling Bertha. I will be in Fullerton, California this weekend. If anybody wants to come look at Bertha, if you want to bring cash, and you could drive away with Bertha. Nocturnal says, I am picture perfect. Ah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know about picture perfect, but I'm trying. You did not enable Super Chat. Van Life Sheldon's, I have absolutely no idea how to do that. Or I would have. That's above my I see a dollar sign up here. Oh, that's an ad inserted. I don't know how to do I do not know how to do that. You guys will have to help me out with that one. I have no idea how to do the super chat. Yikes, I have taken over 200,000 shots with mine. Well, it's Cat Quinn, you have definitely got your money's worth out of your D7000, because that shutter in a D7000 is only rated for 150,000 shutter clicks. And if you've taken 200,000 photos with that D7000, it's been a great camera for you. I will tell you, my actual main body is this old D700. And this camera is so outdated now. It doesn't even have video in it. But in my opinion, it is one of the best DSLRs that Nikon has ever built. And this camera has about 380,000 380,000 shutter clicks on it. And this camera has shot everybody from John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, Oliver Stone, Salma Hayek, Benicio del Toro. Who else? A whole list of other people. Blake Lively in New York. This camera and me, we have a history. It's been with me for a long time. Jay Bird, no, we were just talking about that. I have not sold my other rig yet. It is for sale. I'm showing it this weekend in Fullerton. And I would really love to get it sold before RTR. That would give me a little extra change in my pocket to go to RTR and to have a little bit more spending money than what I've got. So if there's anybody, I've actually even thought about taking it to RTR, but I don't know how to get my step van to RTR and Bertha. So if somebody wants to rent it to go to RTR, hey, I'm or convoy with me to RTR and follow me with a for sale sign on it, I would probably be down for that if it doesn't sell this weekend. Pulp Master says, glad to see your live streaming. I hope to see you on the road later this year. Pulp Master, I hope to see you too, buddy. Jay Bird, I'm interested. I'm outside of Phoenix. Hey, Jay Bird, I would bring it to you if you were seriously interested in it. Let me know because I bought my Snap-on truck in Sierra Vista. I bought it in Sierra Vista, Arizona, which is down south. It's South Arizona. So I flew from Orange County, California, John Wayne Airport. Had to fly to Tucson, and then I flew from Tucson to, where did I go from there? Actually, I think the guy picked me up in Tucson and we drove down to Sierra Vista, Arizona. 22 people. Thanks, Van Life Sheldon's Travels. I need to make some people moderators, but I don't know how to do that either. So if anybody can give me a heads up on how you make moderators and how you enable the super chat and all that good thing, I would totally appreciate it. Is your rig listed on Craigslist? Matilda, no, I haven't listed it on Craigslist. Right now it's listed on, it is listed on the Facebook Market, and it's listed on several different van life groups or like B-class campers for sale on Facebook. I basically listed it all through there and thought I would see if I could sell it through there or see if I could sell it through YouTube to somebody maybe that I know or somebody that's wanting to get into van life. And my last option is Craigslist. And then after Craigslist, it'll go to eBay. I tried emailing about a week or two ago about your rig. Not sure if I did it correct. Jaybird, I will have to check. Where did you email me at? Did you email me at Nomad News TV? Because I keep getting things going into my spam filter. We have RV Ashes and April back. Hey guys, they were with us at Thanksgiving. I met those guys at Thanksgiving, as well as Van Life Sheldon's Travels that's in the room. Let's see. Van Life Sheldon's Travel says super chat has to be done before chat starts to make moderators. Hold down, pick a person, and should see make a mod. Oh, good deal. Let's try that. Add moderator. Bam. Van Life Sheldon's Travels, you are now a moderator. Thanks. And I'll have to keep that in mind about the super chat. Not that a big a deal to me. This is just, I'm not trying to make any money off this right now. It's just kind of a test run. Maybe when I get better at it. Jaybird says, if it doesn't sell this weekend, get a hold of me. I've got cash and have been looking for a rig. Okay. Show. Will do, Jaybird. I'll have to figure out a way to remember that. Remember your email. I'll go back into my Nomad News TV at gmail.com and see if I can find your email. Van N says, do Do you worry about leaving Snap-on stickers on the step van would make thieves think there is expensive tools worth stealing inside and cause break-in possibly? Van in, I get that comment 50 times a day. And let me tell you something about that van in. My truck right now is parked on a city street, and I am in South Central Los Angeles, which is one of the roughest neighborhoods in this entire country. There was a guy that was shot and killed at the end of the block about 2 months ago. There's a new documentary out. I talked about this in my last stream. There's a new documentary out that's on Netflix. I said it was on YouTube. It's actually on Netflix. It's called Los Angeles 1992, which talks about the riots in Los Angeles in 1992. And those riots, I'm on Florence Boulevard. Florence Boulevard is the first street to the left of me. If I go down the street here from May and hit the street and go left or right, that is Florence. So if you take a left and you drive 1.5 miles to the 110 freeway, once you go under the 110 freeway, you're at Florence and Normandy. 1.5 miles from here. That is where the 1992 riots in Los Angeles started. I'm literally walking distance from where the riots started. So I've been parking my Snap-on truck here for 8 months, 8 or 9 months. Now, I'm not saying it won't get broken into. It could get broken into. It could be getting broken into right now. But what most people don't understand is that truck is not that easy to break into. When I was in San Diego for a month, I had a couple. I was parked down by the port, which is kind of a rough area in San Diego, where the shipping port is. And I had a couple in a really beautiful Sprinter, one of those, $80,000 to $85,000 Sprinters, pull in, and they literally pulled this close to my bumper. They pulled in and backed up because it was a red zone, but there was just enough room for them to squeeze in right in front of me. And I was like, okay, well, you guys just blocked me in, but there was nobody behind me, so I knew I could get out. But anyway, it was a Friday or Saturday night, just like tonight. And I was going to the gas lamp district to go have dinner. So I took my electric bike. And as I was leaving on my electric bike, I noticed they were getting in an Uber. So I figured they were probably going out to dinner as well. Really cute little, early 20s, mid 20s van life couple. You could see the solar on top of their Sprinter. It was a beautiful, beautiful rig. You could tell it was a self-conversion rig. And I went, had dinner, was gone for about 2.5, 3 hours, came back, and guess what had happened? There was 2 or 3 cops around the Sprinter. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? Come to find out, that Sprinter had been broken into and they stole everything. They even took the time to take the vis mount off of the wall to take the TV. They didn't just take the TV off the mount. They took the mount off the wall. They stole everything in that Sprinter. They literally gutted the entire inside of it. Everything was gone. And that Sprinter was that close, about 6 inches from my bumper. And they didn't touch my truck. And the reason being is there's one door in my truck. There's one door, and the window is about 5 foot off the ground. And I have a deadbolt that you lock with a key. It's a huge deadbolt, like a residential deadbolt that locks with a key. So even if they bust the window out and they get in the truck, they're not going to be able to get the door open. They're going to have to take everything out the window, and the window is not that big. And my truck has it has a commercial. It has a commercial alarm system in it, which the same type of alarm system you would find in a jewelry store. So it's got outside sensors on the outside of the truck, motion detector sensors, and in the truck. And I'm sure people look at my truck all the time, and that keypad is literally, as soon as you look through the window, you see the keypad for the alarm, and it'll show the outside. Oh, you're standing right there, and you'll hear the beeping on the inside of the truck. So yes, my truck could get broken into, but I don't worry about it that much getting broken into. But every time I post a picture of it on social media or anything, I get people coming out of the woodwork talking about my truck's going to get broken into. Now, it did get spray painted. The little gangbangers around here did tag it one night, and I had to go. I was asleep in it. I was actually asleep when they did it. And when I woke up, they had tagged my back lift gate. So I had to run and get all the stuff, the spirits, and I actually did a YouTube video about taking how to get the paint off of there without ruining my decals. So Van N goes, I guess Snap-on trucks would need to be tough to break in for sure. Yeah, that's it's a it's a fortress, and I to be honest with you, Van In, I would not. I bet you there's probably been 100 in this time in this neighborhood. There's probably been 100 or 150 thieves, car thieves, break-in thieves, everything that have probably coaxed or looked at my truck and probably, tried to check it out and probably went, "Oh, this is way more work than I want to do." And they break into the cars around me because I was at a restaurant one night down in Orange County, and I came out of the restaurant and all of the cars, there was like 4 Mercedes Benz, all of these cars up and down the street had been broken into. And my truck was the only one that wasn't broken into. The guy parked right behind me. They broke into his and stole this brand new MacBook Pro. But it may be my truck that's drawing them in because they see that Snap-on truck and they stop and go, "Oh, that's a big haul right there." And then they get up around my truck, and my truck doesn't even have a driver's side door. That's what most people don't realize. There's one way in, there's one way out. They can't go through the lift gate in the back because you have to have the thing to lift the gate to let the gate down. So if you don't have the button in your hand, if you now they could break in and get the button, but it's a lot harder than what people think. But yeah, a lot of people do think that it's going to get broken into, and it very well could. I mean, it's not it's not an armored vehicle, but they do build them, because they hold, $300,000-400,000 worth of tools. So Snap-on knows this, and they build them so they're not that apt to be broken into. I actually talked to official Snap-on when I bought it to find out, and they said they haven't had one broken into since 2010. And they've only had 3 or 4 broken into in their entire company history. That's part of the, oh, we've got the Metro going by. That's part of the, it's part of the deal. Because Snap-on is a what do you call it? A franchise. Snap-on's a franchise, so they have a whole crime report about their trucks being broken into, and what you need to do and steps you need to take to make sure that doesn't happen. So, Van Life Sheldon said it's built really tough. It is. Cat Quinn, I was standing admiring someone's home built rig. I didn't touch it. Suddenly the rig said, "Step away from the vehicle immediately. The owner has been notified." Yes, that's the kind of alarms to have. Mine unfortunately doesn't have that alarm at this time, but it has motion sensors. And one night I was working on the Fox TV show 911, and we were up in Pasadena, and I can never get my rig into crew parking. So I always find a street spot to park around crew parking. And I parked right across from our crew parking. But when we wrapped, it was about 11 o'clock, 11:30. We actually wrapped really early, but it was probably about 11:30. And all the crew left. And I was like, you know what? This is a good spot. I'm just going to stay parked right here. So I stayed parked right there, and I bedded down, and I got in bed, and it was probably about 12:35, 12:40. And in Pasadena, they have a law that there's no vehicle dwelling. You can't sleep in your vehicle. It's against the law. So I actually knew that, but I was right on the outside of Pasadena, so I wasn't expecting much. And we were kind of over in a commercial district, so it wasn't a residential district. But sure enough, about 12:45, I saw a flashlight. I could see a flashlight out from my window, from my curtain that I used to go across the box of my truck that separates the cab from the box. I could see a flashlight shining through there. So I didn't know if it was somebody trying to break in or what it was. So I got up and peeked out, and sure enough, it was a cop. And about that time, he stepped around to the front side where the door is to enter, and he chirped the alarm. And as soon as he chirped the alarm, he jumped back. The exterior motion detector, I don't set the interior motion detectors when I'm in it, but because I'll set them off. So I just set the ones on the outside. So it'll wake me up if somebody's really messing around my truck. There was not one on the very, I think there is one on the very back, but for some reason, the night that they graffitied it, I don't know exactly how they did that. Maybe I was just so asleep I didn't hear it chirping. Let's see, what else do we have? Freedom Dove says, "Hey Ralph, so glad you came live before it got too late in the Midwest." Hey Freedom Dove, I'm glad I did too. I'm glad to see you in here. I've seen Freedom Dove in so many other people's live chats. It's nice to see you in my live chat for a change, Freedom Dove. We got 25 people in here. We've got 14 thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Van Life Sheldon says, we are able to see all 5 cameras on our phone. Makes it nice to know what's going on when we are inside or away from the van. We have another metro train coming by. So the Van Life Sheldon's Travels, Mike has installed a very nice camera security system on their van. So yeah, he's got a really nice setup, and he can use his phone, and he can just it works on the Wi-Fi, so he can look at his phone at any time if they're out at dinner or whatever and see exactly what's going on in his van. And that's exact type of security system that I plan to have in my truck at a certain time. And I plan on having the whole thing that it says step away from the truck if you're too close. I'd like to have that too. I'm not sure how well that would go over in the city though, because it'd probably be saying that continuously. Party at Rav's work, Van Life Sheldon. Yeah, if anybody wants to come to the ghetto, come on. Controller for liftgate is typically called a pickle. Oh, good to know. Group 2 Matrix. I wondered what that thing was called. So we got 27 people in, 15 thumbs up. I appreciate that. Again, I'll let some of you guys know if you're just joining us, you'll see me looking down because I have my screen with my chat and everything going. My camera's up here, so you'll see me looking down more than I'm looking at you guys. But I'm looking at your chat to see what you're saying in the room. I've got some cool little graphics going up here. I don't have a frog for you guys, Van Life Sheldons. I mean, a turtle. Sorry. Van Life Sheldon's Travels have a little yellow belly slider turtle. Is that right, Mike? Called Sheldon. That is their pet. Oh, we got Sonic. Let's try Sonic. Oh, Sonic's not happy. Yeah, so I've bought this software last night to be able to do this live stream, and it's got these little toys that I'm just messing with. Let's see. Oh, barely missed this one. I could have used this one like a week ago. Oh, PDX trailer guy is in here. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. So anyway, let's talk about the RTR a little bit. I talked about that on my live stream. Van Life Sheldons, are you guys making a beeline back across the states for... Oh, Gus in a bus. Hey, Gus, I mentioned you in my last live stream. Just got here. I'm down by the Colorado River, Arizona, in my bus. Yes, Gus in a bus. Awesome. That's actually where I wished I was. So we got several van lifers in here. We got Van Life Sheldon's Travels. We got Gus in a bus. Who else do we have? We got 21 people in the room. Van in. We have Van in. Anyway, guys, if anybody's going to the RTR, just type RTR in the comment, so I'll know who's going to be there. Hey, trailer guy, good to see you, buddy. So I'll type let's see. I'll type RTR because as of now, I plan on going if everything goes right. We can't decide if we want to come to RTR or relax in the Keys. Ooh, Van Life Sheldon's Travels. You know, with what's going on with RTR this year, we really don't know what it's going to be like. So, I mean, I don't know that I would drive all the way back across the United States just to come to the RTR because you guys were just at Van Build and you were just at Boondockers Bash. And you know as well as I do that there's not a whole lot of difference in those events. It is different. RTR is the best, but with the things that are going on with the RTR this year and so many things being up in the air, I don't know that I would make significant plans to be here for the RTR. I think I would, if it was up to me, I think I would probably hang out in the Keys. Of course, it would be good to see you guys again. I just saw you guys at Thanksgiving. And we have 24 people in the room. Wow. Trying to go back through some of your comments. Anyway, I actually made some show notes. Let me see if I can find them here. So about the RTR. So if you are coming to the RTR, one thing to think about is on the 22nd in Parker, the Parker residence on January 22nd, they are having a meet and greet for the drivers. There is the side-by-side races are coming up for 2 days, which I believe they're the 23rd and 25th or something like that. So if you're planning on, if you were at the van build and you were planning on staying off Shea Road, not a good idea because that's where they're going to be having the races. So I don't think I would park over there. And per Bob's live stream from a couple of days ago, they said you probably don't want to go into Parker on the 22nd when they're having the Parker residents do the meet and greet with the race car drivers because it's going to be a crazy town in there. Another thing that's going on with the RTR, I don't know if you guys know this, but Bob has with the HOWA, HOWA, or whatever they're doing, they're actually doing a giveaway. They're giving away a trailer, a converted trailer, and it is a sweepstakes that you can enter. There's no purchase necessary. They're wanting you to purchase, I think. I mean, it's a sweepstakes, and this guy is giving away a cargo trailer that's been converted. And if you get your tickets and if you were to win the sweepstakes, you would have to pick this trailer up in Ocala, Florida. So that's something to think about. Maybe you could get the Van Life Sheldon's Travels to pick it up and pull it back to you or wherever you're at if you're not in Florida. So Pulp Master, I'm hoping to join the Van Life Tent Life community this fall. Oh, cool. I think I'd go with a van, Pulp Master, because tent living is, I mean, that's a whole different deal. A van's on another level. I saw a guy living in a tent, like a big, large tent in, Quartzsite. He was there where we do the water, where we filled up our water, and he had like a little house out of a tent. It was kind of like a military tent. I could probably do something like that. Hey, Badge, we got Badge in the room. What's going on, buddy? Freedom Dove, we will get it fixed next week. What do you got broken, Freedom Dove? What did I miss? Hi, Badge. Thank you for trying to help Jack with his rig. Oh, okay. I missed that. I need to catch up on everybody's videos, Badge. I need to catch up on yours. I need to catch up on my buddy Jack Spare. Let's see. The Captain Jack. Van Life Sheldon's Travels. I pretty much try to keep up with your videos. PDX Trailer Guy. I'll be doing the tent thing, rooftop tent for the Tacoma, but would love a van. Hey, if you're doing the rooftop tent, that's not a bad way to go. I actually looked at buying one of those for my Land Rover Discovery back several years ago, but they were like $1,200 or $1,500. I think you can get them a little bit cheaper now. Nocturnal, what's going on? Let's see. I'll check this out. This should be interesting. I'm on TV. Jack is a friend of Beach Cricket Christine, who lives in a shuttle bus. Okay, Freedom Dove. Freedom Dove, you need to have your own Nomad News channel because you know more about the community than I do half the time. Let's see. Quasi 5158. Quasi, welcome. Wanted to go to the RTR, but considering I live in Iowa and upcoming local events, I'm not going to make it. Some that might affect the Nomad community on a bigger level. Okay, cool. I think Bob was talking about their new goal for upcoming is to have more than one event in several different places in the country. And my show notes here, let's go back. Oh yeah. So another thing that they're giving away on the HOA site, which is Bob's what do you call it? It's his charity site, I guess. They're going to be giving away 5 electric bicycles. I can't remember the company, but they're actually that's going to be part of the giveaway is 5 electric bikes. So if you want an electric bike, that there's 5 of them to give away, and I actually have one, and I love the thing, even though it's always in the dang way. I still love it because it's good to get around, and people think, well, how do you charge it? How are you going to charge it? You'll never be able to charge it if you don't have enough solar. And the truth of the matter is I bring the thing into my office and charge it in my office, and I charge it about once every 2 months because I only ride the thing when I actually need transportation from my rig to somewhere I'm going. So I haven't charged it since before I went to the van build, and I rode it all around the van build. And then I rode it around the Boondockers Bash, and I rode it around Parker when I was in Parker, and it's still got half a battery. So it's not like the thing, it's got a lithium ion battery, and those things, they last. They don't lose so much juice as most of us know now when they're just sitting. Let's see. Van Life Sheldon's, we could always fly back and stay in Bertha for RTR. Hey, that's an idea, man. That is an idea. Freedom Dove, LOL. I do have a channel, but it's not about Nomad news. Okay, Freedom Dove. I think I've looked at your channel in the past because you're always in my comments, which I appreciate. Oh, we're talking about, let's see, what are we talking about? We were talking about politics. I'll just say it. UBI, Yang Gang, sorry for the politics. And Freedom Dove says Yang sucks. He's a socialist communist. Yeah. So that's what happens when you start talking politics. It was funny because I was in Bob's live stream chat a couple of days ago when I got these show notes, and Bob was talking. Somebody asked, because Bob does a Q&A thing. Gus in a Bus, you should cover the RTR2020 YouTuber Summit. See my video about it. I will do that, Gus. Yeah, I think I was talking to Jared Toshi, because he was going to go to RTR, but because of the problems or the different things being up in the air with the no camping, he's decided not to go. He's got the Ghost van. He's the guy that builds out the Sprinters. He's a comedian here in LA. Yeah, anyway, so back to, I was in Bob's live chat trying to get some show notes a couple of days ago for Nomad News. And somebody asked Bob a question about, what do you do about health insurance? Like, what does everybody do for health insurance? And so Bob goes, well, I really don't know what people do for health insurance. I really don't have an answer for that one. And myself and a couple other people started talking about how Obamacare kind of effed us and the insurance that we had before Obamacare. And we ended up, all 3 of us that was talking about our insurance and what we were doing with insurance, we all got put in timeout for talking about Obamacare. So if you go on Bob's channel, don't be talking about Obamacare because you'll get put in timeout. So we have what is Rottler 2002? I'm butchering that. Says, hi Rav, I just bought a cargo van and I will be moving into it to give van life a try at the end of the month. Love your channel. Keep up the good work. Hey, thank you, Trottler. Is it Lottler? I don't know how to pronounce that. 2002. Good luck. Welcome to van life. That's actually the best way to do it, is to give it a try. Don't just go full steam in. Make some little weekend. What's the word I'm looking for? Some weekend excursions out to a campground or something, and get an idea how you're going to like it. That was another thing I was going to talk about in my show notes. Some of you guys probably know Rob from Little House on the Highway. I actually accidentally followed Rob a while back because I thought he was my other friend's Little House on the Road, which have the schoolie that I did a tour of their schoolie during Schoolie Palooza. That's one thing I have not heard. Does anybody know Schoolie Palooza going on at the same time this year? Because last year at RTR, we bounced over from RTR and went to Schoolie Palooza for a few days. So I'm wondering what's going on this year with Schoolie Palooza. I know I'm part of that Facebook group, but I really haven't seen much about Schoolie Palooza. Oh my gosh, Van N, you're Brian Watts. What's up, brother? I didn't realize Van N, you were Brian Watts. I'm just used to seeing you as Brian Watts. So Van N, I don't know if you have a YouTube channel, Brian. Brian is he's one of my good friends on Facebook. We've actually never met, but he's up north here, and he's got a Ford cargo van that he's building out, and he's full time in it. And Brian Watts Van N, he was just down here for the races. He's a photographer as well, and he does a lot of races, shooting different kinds of, is it drag races? I can't remember, Brian. So yes, I do, but not there much yet on YouTube. No worries, buddy. How is the sound, guys? I'm wondering because the park is right over here, literally probably about 50 yards away. And they have baseball fields over there, and I can hear the parents and I can hear everybody cheering over there. So I'm just wondering if you guys can hear that. See, Quasi 51 and 58. I'm curious what us YouTuber will be first to do a full EV van life or Nomad life solution. EV? You mean environmentally friendly or like electric? I'm not sure. EV van life. Freedom Dove says, sounds really good. I can't hear any background noise. Thank you so much, Freedom Dove. Great to hear that. I said a little bit in my other stream. This mic is a condenser mic, so it's more of a like a, it's good for instruments. They use it in studios, like to play guitars because it's got this big sound. But a lot of people use like the dynamic mics, or what are they called? I can't think of the name of it, but it's the ones you talk into the end of. And I'm looking at getting one of those because they're supposed to really eliminate any background noise. But maybe I won't get one because the thing is $300-400. Maybe I won't get one if you guys can't hear any background noise on this one. Just my fear is it's so noisy around this building that I was afraid you guys would hear it would be picking up a lot of noise in the background. Quasi electric vehicle. Yeah, I know there is a van, Quasi 5158. There is an electric van that some guys that I think some company did. There was some YouTube videos about it about a year ago that it was an all electric van. But to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't see how that's going to work if you're full time. But that van, it actually charged off solar power. It had this big, extravagant fold out awning and everything that was all solar. Freedom Dove, I only know shotgun mics and omnidirectional mics. Yeah. Yeah, the mic that I'm looking at is I looked at the Shure SMB7. I think that's what it's called. And that's the mic that like Joe Rogan, it's the black mic that has the little foam on it that's built into it. It's like a $400 mic. And then you need what's called a cloud lifter because the mic uses so much power. You need what's called a cloud lifter. So the mic is $400, and then you need a cloud lifter, which is another $150 just for that one mic. So I've been looking at getting a in broadcast radio or in radio for years, like the DJs that do all the crazy, radio voices from back in the day. Most of them were using a, oh my gosh, what was it called? It's a RE20 electric voice, RE20. And Electro Voice makes a RE320 that's the little brother of that, because an RE20 is a $500 mic as well, but an RE20 is like $300. So I may end up getting one of those. Family Life Sheldon's Travels just bought a wireless microphone for both of us. Hope people can hear us better. Oh, that's one thing. If you're not a YouTuber, That's one thing that I can say, that it doesn't matter how much gear we have, how much stuff we have to get the job done. We always think we need more stuff. We need more stuff. We need more money, more money. I can tell you right now, there's about $500 worth of stuff that I want to buy just to make this thing better. And it's probably as good as it's ever going to get. But in my head, I think I need this other mic. I need this other lighting. Um, the wireless microphones for the Van Life Sheldons, though, for Mike and Stephanie, that's a good investment, because having wireless mics are really nice, especially if they're lavaliers. I'm taking it they're probably wireless lavalier mics. Mike, Van N, Brian, you say, I still vote for US Mike. Let's see. Lee Rotler. Oh, I got it. I get it. Lee Rotler. It's L Rotler 2002. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I think, I really like Quasi 5158. I like the idea of an electric vehicle, but I don't think there is, I don't think, I think we're still a long way away from full electric vehicles, especially when it gets to bigger vehicles. I know Tesla is supposed to be trying to build a semi, and that runs on batteries. So once that happens, and once those things actually hit the road, and they've been on the road for 2 or 3 years, and we don't see them all sitting on the road dead, then it's a possibility. I will tell you, though, it's been about a month ago that one of the Tesla dealerships had somewhere around 75 to 100 Teslas all parked trying to get into the charging stations, and they were all dead. These are people like pulling into a gas station, but they had pulled into a Tesla dealership to try to charge their Teslas, and they were all dead. And somebody took a video of it, because it was Teslas as far as you could see, and they were all dead. So there's still a lot of infrastructure that's got to be installed in this country before electric vehicles is an absolute viable solution. Quasi says, yeah, for full time, you are correct. Oh, here goes a train. And that's a freight train. Can you guys hear the freight train? My office will shake a little bit. The big freight train goes by at 7:30, which is another reason why I started this. Oh, there we go. It is a freight train. Is why I started this live stream at 8:30, because I was hoping there wouldn't be another freight train later, but there's one going by now. So Lee Rotler says, my current mic is fine. I do not hear any background noise, not even the trains going by. You got to hear this train. You guys cannot hear this freight train? My whole office is shaking. Yeah. Okay. Van Life Sheldons. I heard that. Yeah. Yeah. You hear the freight train. Yeah. You can hear the freight train in Texas. The damn thing is so loud. And I guess it's going to be a long one. I thought the long freight train had went by at 7:30, but evidently there's another one tonight. Freedom Dove goes, yeah, we still need fossil fuels. Suck it up, buttercups. Freedom Dove, you're like, yeah, we do still need fossil fuels, and we're going to need fossil fuels for the foreseeable future. Quasi, have you thought about trying to soundproof the studio part of your rig? Now, Quasi, I'm not in my rig. I'm in my office. But my rig, when I do stream from in there, which hopefully will be as soon as I get my solar and everything installed. Damn, this is a long train. So when I'm doing my YouTube Nomad News, this is when I have to just cut and sit here and wait on the train to go by. But on my back to my truck, this whole setup right here, I want to have this in my truck. I want to be able to live stream, and I want to be able to do my Nomad News from my truck. I want my truck to be a studio, a workable studio that I live in, if that makes sense. Nikola Motor Company builds Class B electric, not Tesla. Oh, okay. Meeting on the highway. Nikola Motor Company builds Class. 8 electric, not Tesla. Yeah, I'm not complete meeting on the highway. I'm not 100% up on the electric. I will say I'm a big time fan of solar and the lithium ion batteries. They're really, I think within probably another 5 years, we'll be able to install a battery system in our rigs that will be no different than a house. I mean, we'll be able to use as much power as we want. And for Mike with Van Life Sheldon's Travels, I just wanted to let you know that that one lead on my solar panels that we couldn't figure out at Van Build, there's another box on the other side. So you can either use a one lead if you want to use one lead and tie those solar panels into a grid tie, because my solar panels are 425 watts. 400, I have a couple that are 400 watts, but most of them are 425 watts. And they have one lead coming out. And Mike with Van Life Sheldon Travels, we could not figure out how that worked. And then I found the other box on the other side. So I did a test one day with a voltage meter here about 2 weeks ago. And one panel, was pulling over 200 volts. So can you imagine when I get 4 of those on my roof? It says it said on the thing there was 160 volts, I think, is what they're rated for, but they were pulling about 215 volts. The one I took my voltage meter to, but it was right in the sun, and I had it leaning up against my truck, so it was at an angle. How's that going to work? Yeah, it was at an angle like this. Freedom Dove, yep, I hear the train. It doesn't bother me since I live near a railroad track. I'm used to the sound. Oh, good. Yeah, Van Life Sheldon's Travels. Wow, that's what I said too. So I'm really looking forward to getting all 4 of those panels on there. I think I'll have plenty of juice, especially if I can get a Tesla battery, 24-volt battery. Group 2 matrix. Gate processor fades out and mutes after you are done speaking. Gate processor fades out and mutes after you are done speaking. You must be a sound engineer. Are you the sound engineer? Because I have no idea what you're talking about there. I'm not a sound guy. I'm still learning all this sound stuff. So this is a condenser mic. What is the other one? It's not a directional. It's called, it starts with a D. I can't think of the damn name of it. Because you have these that are condenser mics, so they kind of pick up sound, background sound, and then you have the ones you talk into the end of. Wish I was there. We would just throw them up one day. Oh, dynamic. Yes, group 2 matrix. Dynamic mic. That's what I was trying to think of. So I'm looking at getting a dynamic mic, which is the mic where you would turn it. This one is a condenser, so you talk into the side of it. Like Howard Stern uses one of these. There's a super expensive one. Like the one that Howard uses is like $4,000 or something like that. And it's this real high-end brand. I can't think of the name of it right now, but a dynamic mic, you speak into the end of it and it eliminates all of the background noise behind you. So I'm going to try to be getting the Electro Voice. What do you think of the Electro Voice RE320 group 2 matrix? Gus in a Bus says, I met the solar truck guys going from Alaska to Patagonia in electric van. Yes, Gus in a Bus, the blue van. You know what I'm talking about. I can work if you're okay with 30 miles per sunny day. Ooh, I need to go. I may want to go more than 30 miles, Gus. That's why I like having a diesel engine. Tierra Santa, 1987. Hey, Rav, I'm Joe Luzbel Nunez from Facebook. This was my original profile I created back in 2005. Oh, nice. What's up, Joe Luzbel Nunez? Joe Nunez. You're not the guy that's wanting to come look at Bertha from San Francisco this weekend, are you? Group 2 matrix, the SM58 is the most common. Group 2 matrix RE mic is a good mic. Yeah, but the SM58, that's a Shure, right? The Shure SM58. You have to speak closely into a dynamic mic. Yeah, that's true. That's one reason I do like this condenser mic, is I can get a little bit further away from it and talk into it. Which a dynamic mic, you got to be right on the end of it, like right talking to the end of it. Who knows? Maybe I'll just stay with this one. Yeah, the Shure SM58. The one that's really popular right now is the one that Joe Rogan uses, which is the SM. What is it? An SM7B or something like that. That's the really nice Shure that everybody's using now. Which again, with the cloud lifter, is a $500 microphone. Okay, so Tierra Santa, no, you're not coming to look at Bertha this weekend. Had you mixed up with somebody else? Gus in a Bus says you could feel like you could afford the mics if you did mix reviews. You could feel like you could afford the mics if you did mics reviews. Yeah, there's a ton of mic reviews on there though. I have this mic, and I have all of these, the MXL 990s. I have this one and my other one that's the American flag. It's an MXL 990. And I got these mics from looking at reviews back like 5 years ago. Everybody was talking about how great these condenser mics were for sound for the price. They were like the best bang for your buck mics, I guess. But a lot of things have changed in the last 5 years. Group 2 Matrix says the mic sounds good. Oh, that's good to know. I may just stay with this one because, you know, hey, it's funny because when I first started the Nomad News thing, I could not get this mic dialed in right. The sound was horrible. It took me forever to get this thing set again. Van Life Sheldon's Travels says sound is good. Thanks, guys. We have 29 people in here. You got to be kidding me. I can't believe that. And 29 people in here, and we have 20 thumbs up. So thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh, we just hit an hour. I was going to do this thing for an hour. Let me run through my notes here again, because I was just going to stream for an hour. We're already a minute over an hour. So I wanted to talk about. I've had a couple of people ask me about Rob from Little House on the Highway. If you don't know who Rob is, he has a YouTube channel that's called Little House on the Highway. And Rob is a gloom and doom guy. He's always talking about all the negative things and the negative aspects about van life. And I will say that I understand why he's doing that, because his YouTube channel is growing exponentially because of that. Because people love drama and they love to hear all of the negative things about van life and the people that are doing van life. And I watched his video today, and he was talking about a girl that was in one of the Facebook groups that was always commenting on his regular Little House on the Highway, his own Facebook group, and she was always giving her expertise about everything. And he just took it after 2 or 3 months or longer. He actually took it that she was a van lifer and that she was a full timer, because anytime anybody would ask a question about van life, she would be the first one to answer. And then he said it was so funny because like a short time ago, she started talking about that she had just got in her van. She was just getting started out and she didn't know what to do because she was so cold. And this is something I touched base on last night in my or this morning, actually, early this morning when my other stream is, if you're going to Facebook to try to get experience or to try to talk to experienced van lifers in these van life groups, you're wasting your time. I know the Van Life Sheldon's Travels, they tease me about it because I do comment and I'll be in those groups because most of the people in those groups are not van lifers. They're all wannabe van lifers and they're all wanting to get out there. But 99.9% of those people in those van life groups, they are not van lifers. But they'll be the first to tell you, the first to answer. If you ask a question about van life, they'll be the first to jump on the bandwagon to give you their expertise about van life. And so I keep getting thrown out of these Facebook groups because I call them out on it. Group 2 Matrix, Joe Rogan uses the Shure SM7B. Yes, that's the mic that I love, that I would love to have, but I'm not going to pay $400 for the mic and then another $150 for a cloud lifter. I think I'll just stay with this for now. But anyway, yeah, so back to my rant, because this is kind of a rant. About a week ago, I got thrown out of the Facebook group Van Dwellers because somebody was talking about this girl that's like she's really popular on Instagram, and she's got an Instagram that's a lot like my friends from Wonderbus. It's very glamorous, and it's very well put together. It's very well produced. And so I was talking about it, and then all of these people started talking about van life this, van life that, and giving their expertise. And then finally I said, how many of you guys are van lifers? We got 20 people in here commenting about this and that on their expertise on van life. I said, how many of you are van lifers? How many of you live in a van right now? I said, I'm typing this from my van, from my step van. How many of you are actually talking to me from your vehicle? Because I was on my phone chatting from my vehicle, making these comments. And out of those 20 people, not one single person, every single one of them had the exact same response. Well, I'm doing my research so I can, I'll be ready to be in the van, but I'll be in a van in 4 months. I'm not in a van yet, but I plan on being in a van. I'm not in a van, but I traveled extensively with my dad in our Silverado pickup camper back when I was a kid. Every one of them had the exact same response. Not any one of them had any actual van life experience, but they were all talking about experience van life things. So I called them out on it and said, how many people in here are even van lifers? I said, none of you guys, you're all wannabes. None of you are van lifers. There's nothing wrong with being a wannabe van lifer. That was me for years and years, was wanting to be I was a wannabe van lifer. I was looking into it. But the problem is I never went out there and tried to put myself out there like I was some kind of expert on van life because of the stuff I was reading on the internet. You're not going to learn van life by reading stuff on the internet. And for some reason, people have this illusions of grandeur that they're completely prepared for van life because they've been, sitting on Facebook day in and day out for months and months at a time. And they know exactly what they're going to, need to expect. And until you actually get out and do van life, you have no idea. No idea. And so they kicked me out of the groups, which I think is hilarious, because that was one of the comments that I made. I said, I know several van lifers in this group. And this was Van Dwellers on Facebook, and Van Life Sheldons are in that group. But none of the actual van lifers ever comment. It's always people that are not even van lifers. I said, I'm one of the only van lifers that is actually active in this group. And I got tossed. Janessa, I was tossed out of 2 van life groups so far, more to come most likely. The funny thing is these wannabe van lifers, because the people that own these groups, they're not van lifers either. None of them. I don't think any of them are actual van lifers. I know the Vagabonds and Nomads and Travelers, which has got like 60 or 70,000 people. None of those people are the guy that owns that. He's got like a little Vanagon or something, and he claims to be a van lifer, but he's always talking about, hey, come meet me at a coffee shop and everything. And then people go to meet him and he's like, oh, I had to leave. He's never where he says he's going to be. Yeah. Tara, yeah. That statement about I'm not in a van, but I traveled with my dad. That was actually a comment that somebody commented to me. She said that. She goes, I have plenty of experience because when I was a kid, I traveled around the country with my dad in their what was it? It was a Suburban. I was like, oh, okay. Yes. True, the van life is a hustle all the time, and it's survival mode all the time, just like the wild, no roses and beautiful things. Trailer guy, I joined a few of those groups and have zero experience with van life, but I'm the first to say I have no idea how it is. I do know small retro trailer life, though. The thing about it is there's nothing wrong with having no van life experience. My problem is if you have no van life experience, don't freaking comment like you're some expert on van life, because I've only been doing this for going on 3 years, and I'm not an expert at van life, but I know the ins and outs of everyday living in a vehicle. And until you've done it, you do not know what the hell you're talking about. And just to give you an idea of why I really thought I could fall into this lifestyle and it would fit me very well, is because in the 90s, I had a company and I had to travel all over the United States. And oh, Nomad and Broken's in the room. What's going on, brother? Ellie Connection. Hey, what's going on, Ellie? Where is the bread trucker at, Ellie? Anyway, I had a business and I traveled all of the United States. And there was a couple of nights, not a couple of nights, it was more than one night. One night I was up in Minnesota and I pulled in and my room had been booked. I stayed in hotels, but my room had been, they overbooked and I lost my room because I got there late. Oh, we had 30 people in the room. I was just going to run this for an hour, but it's already over an hour. Anyway, I had a hotel room booked. I had reservations, but I got there. It wasn't a hotel. It was basically like a little travel inn or, like a Hilton Inn or something, not a real nice hotel. But I got there and they had overbooked the room. So my room had been occupied for hours by the time I got there. And so I ended up having to sleep in my truck. And I had a GMC Yukon at the time, and I had a -10, I believe, sleeping bag, but it was freezing cold. And I had my dog at the time. She was traveling with me, and in Minnesota, it was probably -10 degrees or colder. So I figured if I could live through that. I've slept on mountains in a one-man tent. I've slept over at 7 or 8,000 feet up on the top of a mountain. One night when the wind was blowing about 45 or 50 miles an hour, and I literally thought it was going to blow me off the mountain. I had put my tent beside a tree in case the wind blew me and I got blown out, that I would the tree would hopefully catch me and I wouldn't get blown off the top of the mountain. Ellie Connection says, I told him you were on and he says he's going to join soon. I tried. Well, thank you, Ellie. Oh, there's Paul Barger. Hey, Step Van Rav, live streaming like a pro. Thank you, brother. Same as anything else. Tasha Teeling. Yep, very true. It's life. Doesn't matter if you live in a house. There's always stuff. Like one of the things I remember when I lived in the house was when we had to put a new roof on the house. I was so freaking stressed out about that. Now, where's my wrench? What are you working on your rig, Paul Barger? What do you mean your wrench? 32 people in here. I'm blown away. We got 22 thumbs up. I appreciate it. I actually was just going to run this for an hour and we're already 12 minutes past. We got Nomad Unbroken in here. I watch his live streams. If you guys don't know who Nomad Unbroken is, he live streams a lot. So my question is how are Ellie Connection and Paul Barger, how are you guys in the chat room at the same time? Are you both on your individual phones? Because I know you both are probably together. So I can picture in my head both of you sitting there on the bed in the bread truck beside each other talking in the chat. That's a done deal, Mr. Barger. Let me click over here. And, well, it's not working. Oh, clicking on the wrong thing. Bear with me here. I'm trying to click on Mr. Barger's name. There it is. Got it. Oh, you guys are actually in different places? How did that happen? Look at that. I got some moderators now. So this stream has been a success because that's one thing I wanted to get set up was with a few moderators. Which I don't think my stream will really need moderators too much. I'm not that popular. I'm not like the Van Life Sheldons and the Paul Bargers of the YouTube world. Brian says successful live stream tonight, Raph. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. Van in. Oh, we got 38 people in here now. The later it gets, the more people we get in here. I thought I needed to be on early. Tasha Teeling. Hey, what's going on, Tasha? I've seen a couple of your videos. Hey, it's not 3:50 a.m. and we're live streaming. Rick Kimple, good to see you back, buddy. For those that don't know, Rick was in my test run live stream that I did at. I started it here at around 12 a.m. here on the West Coast. So it was about 3 a.m. there for him, and he was here the whole hour. So anyway, I plan on doing these live streams to give me a little bit of buffer when I'm not able to produce regular Nomad news shows for you guys, so my channel just doesn't go dormant. The Van Life Sheldon's Travels, Paul Barger, even his girlfriend Ellie, they've all been after me or telling me I needed to do some live streams. So I'm glad to actually finally get this monkey off my back. That was one of my New Year's resolutions, was to figure this live stream thing out and get it going. Now I just have to get this transferred from my office into my truck so I can do it from my truck, because that's really what I want to do, is be able to live stream for you guys from my truck, but not do it on my phone. There's nothing wrong with doing it on your phone. As a matter of fact, the reason I don't want to do it on my phone is because this phone is a piece of crap. Well, it's not a piece of crap. It was a great phone when it was new, but it is an iPhone 6S Plus that I bought when it was brand new, when they had been out for like a week. So it's seen better days. I bet you I've dropped this phone at least 200 times. I've had it for like 4 years, but I won't get rid of it because it has the 3.5 millimeter jack on it. And I actually have a Rode microphone that goes into that jack. I'm sure some of you can understand that. And iPhone completely got rid of this. And you have to have a damn dongle. Don't get me started. Be another rant, another 30-minute rant. Hey, Rav, what's to do? Expect on CES 2020. In Vegas? What do you expect on CES 2020 in Vegas? Tierra Santa? Isn't the CES in Vegas? I don't know. I've never been. My buddy Noah goes every year. That's the big show in Vegas, right? The big techie show with, oh no, Nocturnal says better than my Obama phone. Ooh, not going to touch that one. Yep. Yeah. So I haven't been to CES. I need to go. My friend Noah, everybody I know that's in the techie world, or that's in the media world, I should say, they all go to CES. I'm not really big into those shows. I've been to the auto show in LA, and I used to do a lot of those shows back in the day, back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. So I kind of got my fill of all of those. God, what do you call those, conventions or whatever they are? Where you walk around and look at all the brand new stuff that's come out. Live stream easier than producing videos. I know it's different, but as far as staying connected with your followers seems to be a more personal connection, which is cool. PDX Trailer Guy, I could not agree with you more. And that's one reason I decided to buckle up and actually do this live stream thing. I kind of had a phobia of it. The first time I tried to do it, I did it at my buddy's house, and I had my phone set up like this. And as soon as I clicked the live, like 3 or 4 people came on, and then people got off. So I had like 3 people, and then all of a sudden there was no people. And then there was 1 person, and then there was no people. And it was just people coming in and going off. But I was sitting at my friend's kitchen table, so I couldn't really say I blame them. Oh, I'm taking pictures of myself here accidentally. Oh, let's do something. Here we go. So there we go. So anyway, yeah, I was doing I had my freaking phone up, and I'm like trying to do the stream, and like I just was like didn't know what to say, so I just like killed it immediately. So it lasted off about 4 minutes, and then I was like, gosh, I don't even know how to do that, so I'm just gonna leave that alone. I know how to produce videos, so that's what I'll do. Oh man, I missed that one by a week, right? That would have been a good overlay a week ago. It's not spring, it's not fall yet. Here we go. My Night on Broadway. Yeah, I'm being retarded now. Oh, I said the R word. There goes my monetization for this video. Anyway, yeah, let's go back. I got a Trump phone into the YouTube zone. I got a Trump phone. Snooky parties here. Nice, Tierra Sarah. Like Jersey Shore Snooky? Is that what we're talking about? Paul Barker says, "Oh my God, just know." Hey, Paul Barker, I know you're jealous, buddy. I know you're jealous of all this bling bling I got going on, brother. I know you're jealous. It's nice for me to make you jealous for a change, Mr. Big YouTube personality yourself. Now is adult friendly. Rav, bubbles are the only overlay you need. Quasi 5158, I totally agree with that, but I don't have any bubbles. I have this. See what this is. Oh, that's the solar system. I need an echo. I need an echo on my mixer for that one, right? Let's see. These are fun. Kinda. Oh, Pink Elephant. How's that one? There we go. Overlay game strong. Van in Brian says, stream every Friday night now, Rav. Or am I going to stream every Friday night? You know, possibly. I need to get a schedule set up. I don't know. Possibly I'll stream every Friday night. I'm not exactly sure. I need to figure out what day's best for streaming. I think Friday or Saturday, because I know I do it late and a lot of people are going to be going to work in the morning. So they probably are not going to be wanting to stay up late. It is almost 10 o'clock here now. On the West Coast, which would be, what, 1 o'clock on the East Coast? Yeah, Jersey Shore Snicky. Chose one gas bike or electric bike and why? Wait. Yeah, Jersey Shore Snicky. Hello, chose one gas bike or electric bike and why? Which would I choose for the gas or electric bike? If I could turn this camera, my gas bike is sitting right here on the floor. It's basically furniture these days. I love the way it looks. It's kind of a pain in the butt though. So if I had to pick one any day of the week, it'd be the electric bike. And that's coming from Mr. Combustible Engine Guy. I've had Harleys. I have a Harley Davidson right now. It's in the shop, getting it repaired, or not repaired. I'm getting it tuned up and getting some things done to it so I can start riding again. But I love the gas bike. I love but I've had this thing for 3 years, I guess. And this is no joke. I've had it for 3 years. It starts up, it runs fine. I barely run through 1 tank of gas. So I've rode it probably 100 miles because it'll get about 80 miles to 100 miles per gallon of gas. So if you have a chance, or if you're looking for a bike, if you don't like something you have to tinker with, if you don't like something you have to mess with, electric bike is completely the way to go. And the electric bike is quiet. This thing is like a freaking weed eater. I mean, it's loud. I like the gas bike more on the nostalgia than actually riding it. I rode it at RTR last year. I did ride because I had both of them. I took both of them with me. I took the gas bike and the electric bike with me because I thought my friend Sarah would want to ride the electric bike while I rode the gas bike, and she didn't want to ride either bike. So it was a waste to take them. But I took both of them with me, and I found out that riding the gas bike around RTR, it idled too fast. You couldn't really slow down enough to you need to just kind of creep around at places. I mean, there's people walking by, there's people with their dogs and on a leash and stuff. And the gas bike, it idles at a click. So you can't just on the electric bike, you can just slowly creep along, and you can't really do that on the gas bike. But if you're doing it for a distance, if I had to go to town from where Skadden Wash is, where the RTR is, or was last year, and where we're going to be back this year, if I had to go from there into Quartzsite, the gas bike all day long, the gas bike will do 45, 50 miles an hour, no problem. So they both have, it's like anything else. They both have their advantages and their disadvantages. But if I had to choose one, I would choose the the fold up electric bike. As a matter of fact, I should sell the gas bike because it's furniture. It's sitting in my office. I drained all the gas out of it, and it's been in my office now for 3 months. Let's see. Need a tool van driving along the bottom of the screen every so often. I agree with that, PDX trailer guy. Nomad and Broken. It's almost 12 there, bro. Are you doing any work on the bowling alleys, or are you on vacation, Nomad and Broken? Van Life Sheldon's 1 a.m. in Florida. What's the temperature over there, Van Life Sheldon's? Rick Kemple. Saturdays are not good for me. I watch another YouTuber, minimalist seasonal worker Timothy Ward, that night, just saying, geez, Rick, I see how you are, buddy. No, it's all good. We all have our favorite YouTubers. So I think Friday night may be a good night for me. Tasha Teeling. I put my gas bike in the back of my van and it was like sleeping at a refinery. Yes, that's another thing that's a good point, Tasha Teeling. You do have to carry freaking gas around with you all the time with the gas bike. And the most annoying thing to me is you have to mix the gas because it's a 2-stroke engine, I believe. Yeah, it's a 2-stroke. So you have to have the little oil. You can get the oil at Walmart for like $1.60, but you have to have both of them. You have to mix the gas. And then there was a couple of times when I had a gas can with gas in it and I needed gas for my generator, but I couldn't use the gas that was in my gas can because I'd put oil in it. So I think I just don't, the gas bikes for van life just didn't work for me. I literally carried my gas bike around. It's been to Texas, it's been to New Mexico, it's been to Arizona, and the entire time it was on the back of my rig. I never took it off. I thought I'd ride it. I was going to ride it when I was in Austin, Texas. I really had planned on riding it in Austin, but I got to Austin and found out that in Texas, they view gas bikes as a motorcycle. So you have to wear a helmet, you have to have a motorcycle's license, you have to have motorcycle insurance, you have to have everything. And I was like, well, it's probably like California. They probably don't really enforce that. So I got on the internet and was researching it before I got it out and rode it, and found a kid that was a college kid that had built his own gas bike with those eBay kits that you could get out of a beach cruiser. He got pulled over by the Austin police and got like $1,400 worth of tickets. So I was like, okay, I'm not riding my gas bike in Texas anywhere. But the electric bike is not like that. You could ride electric bike all day long. The oil won't hurt the generator. You're probably right, Tasha. I don't have the generator anymore, though. I sold it when I got out of my other rig. LE collection, it will be great for the RTR. What will be great for the RTR? The gas bike? I had the gas bike there last year. Tasha Teeling, put a 49cc sticker on the crankcase. My gas bike, Tasha, is actually, I believe it's 66cc. Yeah, it is 66cc. Pretty sure. It's bigger than the little 49, the smaller one. Van Life Sheldon's warmer than the Arizona desert. Oh, bragger. No one needs to know that. That's very true. Oh, I see what you're saying, Tasha. Yeah, put the 49cc sticker on that because then it's not illegal. It's still illegal in Texas. In California, it's not. As long as it's 49 cc's and it doesn't go over 20 miles an hour, in California, it's supposed to be legal. In Texas, that's not the case. It's got an engine on it and you put gas in it and they view it as a motorcycle, even if it's 49 cc's. But I see what you're saying, Tasha. Yeah, if you want to stay legal or look like you're legal, put a 49cc sticker on it. And as long as it's not over 49 cc's, it's supposed to be a bicycle. That's the way they view it in California. So you can ride it. You just can't ride it in the bike lanes and stuff. We have 32 people in here. I'm amazed. And 29 thumbs up. That's crazy. Let's see. Let me go through my show notes before we end this because we are coming up on an hour and 30 minutes. We can go a little longer, guys, or we could kill this now. I'd planned on doing an hour, and it's an hour and 30 minutes. I'm sure you guys got other things to do except listen to me ramble. Van N, which is Brian, he says 49 cc's and has pedals. Yes, the gas bike, as long as it has pedals and it's not over 49 cc's. Quasi 5158 says, Rav, I'm getting confused. Was it today or tomorrow that you were meeting people to sell the old rig? If it was today, hope it went well. No, it's going to be today or tomorrow. It's Friday night, so it's going to be this weekend. As a matter of fact, I got people texting me right now or messaging me on Facebook. It's going to be tomorrow, so Saturday and Sunday. And if I don't sell it this weekend, I may possibly try to find somebody that'll drive it to RTR and maybe try to sell it over there. Nomad Unbroken says, please lick that smash. Yeah, please hit that smash. Hit the light thumbs up, guys. I appreciate that. Ellie, I'm heating up the last of the food you made. Ellie says, gross. What, Ellie, what did you make that like 2.5 weeks ago? And Ellie says, I hope you enjoy. That's funny. That's, well, Paul's not really a bachelor anymore, but for us bachelors, that's kind of the way it goes. Let's see. Nocturnal Nomad. Number said, my wife just said, oh my God. Nocturnal. Oh, said the Nomad and Broken. Tira Smith, then I'll get the electric bike, then it's more convenient. And if the gas bike noise, then I'd rather get a Harley. Yes. Yeah, the gas bike, the noise that the gas bike makes, it's kind of a loud pitch. It's a little bit annoying. You can look back on some of my videos. If you go to, just go to my videos on this channel, and there's a couple of videos of me riding the gas bike. As a matter of fact, you'll see my maiden voyage on the gas bike, where it took me about 2.5 hours to get set up because I didn't have the GoPro right to ride the gas bike. So I taped a microphone inside my helmet, got it all set up to ride. I literally rode it for about 1.5 miles, 2 miles, and it died. I had to push it 2 miles back to my rig. And they're not fun to push, and they're not that fun to pedal. They're not like a regular bicycle. Like the electric bike, if I don't use the electric, I can just ride it like a bicycle. The gas bike's not like that. It's too heavy, and your legs get tired. So I ended up walking it back to my rig after I rode it till I was out of breath. And then I worked on it from, I worked on it from probably about 4 p.m. until 12 a.m. trying to get it to run. And finally, I was just so frustrated, I gave up. And then I put it on the back of my rig and carried it around for 2 years on the back of my rig without taking it off. It was on the back of Bertha for like 2 years. And then finally I decided one day, because it was ruining on the back of my rig. It was just, the weather was ruining it. And it had been rained on. I was in Austin when it rained for like a week. So I figured it was probably junk. I took it off to basically throw it away. Like even one of the tires had went flat and the tube was bad. And ended up ordered a new tube for it, put a new tube in it. Decided I would just take it out and see if I could, what it would take to get it to run. I figured the engine was froze up in it, honestly. I figured water had run down the carburetor and rusted it out. So I didn't think it would even run. But I put a little bit of gas in it and it started right up. I couldn't believe it. I was amazed. And I've got that's a YouTube video on here as well. So it's called the Resurrection of the Gas Bike. So as far as the thing being reliable, it wasn't very reliable when I was trying to ride it and do YouTube videos. But after the thing sat on the back of my truck for 2 years, I pulled it off. And I mean, I wasn't even like, even the clutch or the cable that you have to pull in, the cable was even rusted. I had to get all of that because it was rusted. You couldn't pull the cable on it. So I had to fix that. But once I got it all fixed up, I put gas in it, turned the gas on, pedaled it out, and it started right up and blew my mind. Tasha says, what is it? It is I'm not sure what it is. It's a custom built bike, Tasha, but it's the one where the gas tank is in the frame. It's a really cool looking bike. It's got the big breather carburetor that comes out to the side, so it kind of hits your leg, but it's really fast. It'll run about 45, 50 miles an hour. Harley just came out with an EV motorcycle. Yes, they did, and that is a nice EV motorcycle. I'm actually kind of excited about that because one of those EV motorcycles you can go a long ways on, and the Harley one's not is nice. It's a really weird way for Harley to go because there's such an American, American thunder rolling. I've been riding Harley since I was a teenager. I got my first Harley in 1992 or 93. I was like 19. Terra Santa, I saw a 1995 Harley for $13,000 and a 2001 Indian for $7,000. Which do you recommend? I have Terra. I have a 95 Heritage Softail Classic that I would sell you for 10, and it's a beautiful bike. If you go to my Facebook page, there's pictures of it on there. Let me see if I can pull one up. But it's in the shop right now. I'm getting a new back tire on it. I'm getting it tuned up, putting a new breather cover on it. But it's a beautiful Harley. I'd actually decided I was going to keep it for a while and ride it for a little bit before I sold it. But I don't really have a place for it. So I'm getting rid of a lot of my stuff that I just don't have places for. Because I've been, storing it with friends and stuff. And people are getting tired of me storing my stuff at their place. Because it's going on like, over a year on everything. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. Am I the only one that gets so frustrated with Facebook changing crap around? I mean, like one day you can find stuff and then the next day you go back and you can't find anything. Okay, here we go. So let me find a good picture. So here's a good picture of it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. So that is my Heritage Softail Classic. And I'm going to give you a little bit of advice if you're a female that's going to be riding a bike or riding a Harley. 85 is an AMF. Yes, Nomad and Broken, you're right. An 85 is during the AMF years of Harley Davidson, and I've know a lot about Harley Davidsons, and those were not very good years. So that's a very good point, Nomad and Broken. Unless that bike's had a lot done to it, being an 85, I mean that's a shovel head as well. So that's a whole other can of worms. I mean, do you like working on bikes? Because 1985 Harley Davidson AMF is a shovel head. Now, don't get me wrong, I love shovel heads, but they are a bike that you're going to have to work on. You're going to have to tighten that bike up once a month if you ride it a lot. So my advice to you, if you don't want to be working on a Harley, is you need to get something with an Evolution engine in it, which I believe in 88. I think the Evo came out in 88. Ricky Mountain Prepper, 55 Harley is a collector and worth more. She said an 85. She didn't say a 55. A 55 would be a panhead. A 55 would be worth a lot of money, but you probably wouldn't want that as a daily rider. Last year's of the Evo, Nomad News TV, nice bike. Yes, the 95 is the last year. Yeah, that's why I love my bike is a 95. It's got about 40,000 miles on it. But I have ridden that motorcycle. I bought it in. This is a cool story. I'm going to brag for a minute. I bought that motorcycle, my Harley, in North Carolina, and I flew. A buddy of mine let me use his private jet, and his pilot flew me to North Carolina. I paid for the motorcycle. I bought it, and then I rode it from North Carolina down to Daytona Beach, Florida for Bike Week. And then I spent 2 or 3 weeks in Florida. No, it's longer than that. I think I spent a month in Florida. And then I rode it back across the entire United States to Los Angeles. And I had stops along the way in Santa Fe. I spent a few days in Santa Fe. Well, I visited my family in Texas and Dallas and everything. But yeah, it was me and my dog. My dog was in the saddlebag, and we rode all the way back from Florida on the Harley. Quasi 50 158 says, in my honest opinion, the Harley name and fad is way overrated. Well, I don't know about that. I will say that Harleys aren't near as popular as they were. They've lost a lot of their popularity to some extent since even like 2010 or 11. I think with the Jesse James thing and the West Coast choppers and the big custom bikes that were like $100,000, I think they just kind of burned people out on the whole Harley thing at the time. But I've been like Harleys was a huge thing when I was a kid in Texas. Like everybody, all of my friends, everybody all wanted a Harley, and I got one when I lived in Dallas when I was 19. I bought my first Harley, and it was a 1969 XLCH basket case. It was in the back of a shop in milk crates. And I put the thing all back together in one of our spare bedrooms, and my wife at the time wanted to kill me. Saturated market for Harleys now. Yeah, I think you're right. It is a saturated market. The Indian Tierra, back to your question, the 2001 Indian, I don't know like how reliable the Indian is. Indian is a cool bike, but I think everything has changed over. The original Indian brand, they went out of business for years and then they come back. So I don't know. I see them every now and then. They're beautiful bikes. But I don't know about an 85 Harley because like I said, you're talking about a shovel head and you're gonna, that's a bike you're gonna have to work on. If you like working on bikes, um, the 85 is a great bike to have. I love shovel heads. I love the way shovel heads sound. I just love everything about them because they're a real classic Harley. They're the last year of the classic Harley because when the Evo came out, that's what my bike is. And what I love about the Evo is you just don't have to work on it. You just ride it. My first bike, the XLCH Ironhead that I had a 3-inch rake on it. And I basically would work on that thing 12 hours and ride it for 3. See, Quasi says Indian is tricky. The names has changed hands so many times, hard to keep track. Yes, that's exactly my thoughts exactly on that. Mid 2000 Harleys are dirt cheap because there is so many of them. Yeah, it's kind of sad that that used to you couldn't get a Harley back in the day. You could get a Harley less than 10 grand for a big one, and that's not the case anymore. You can get them for 6, 7, 8,000. Depends. Depends on what kind of shape they're in. The bike that I really wanted, the first Evolution that I wanted, or Evo I wanted, was the 1988 Springer Softail. It was the all black with a Springer front end. I never got it, but I wanted it. Okay, Brian, you're off to bed. Great show. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to wrap this up here pretty quick. We're going on 2 hours. I can't believe half you people are still in here. Still 26 people in here. Just trying to go back through your comments. I'm going to miss some here. Let me get through my show notes, and then we're going to look at wrapping this thing up here. Yeah, I ranted about Rob. One thing I will say about Rob, though, is he gets a little bit under my skin. I'm talking about Little House on the Highway, because he's just all doom and gloom with everything he says. It's all doom and gloom. He's grown his YouTube channel that way. He never says anything positive about the van life. It's just all about people trashing campgrounds and stuff like that. And you will find that out there. It is out there. It's in anything. You go to a baseball game and hell, there's people that leave their pizza and beer and everything else, on the ground. So but you do find that in van life, and it is disappointing because you think people would be more, I'm mountaineering. I've done mountaineering. I've done a lot of, backwoods camping and stuff like that. And for me, it's just always you pack it in, you pack it out. You don't leave anything. I remember the last time I was climbing a mountain, had my little camp stove set up, and I dropped a piece of paper from one of my soups or something, and it dropped and it went down into this freaking log. And I spent like 10 minutes in the dark fishing that piece of paper out of there because I just didn't want to leave it, down in that log. So I got a flashlight out and, got a hook so I can reach down in there and grab it and pull it out, because I'm all about, pack it in, pack it out. So it's irritating when these people, but you see a lot of that in Arizona with the locals. I could not believe that in Parker, where I was parked at in Parker, which the Van Life Sheldons, I don't know if they're still in here. They knew exactly where I was parked, over behind the McDonald's there in Parker. If you're going to the Walmart, you go down that road and there's a left into the Walmart or a right into the McDonald's. And I was parked back over in that lot behind the McDonald's. And if you walked out there in that field, or that empty desert, if you walked out there like 100 yards from my rig, if you walked out there, there was a freaking boat out there, abandoned boat, like the hull of a boat that somebody had set the inside of it on fire. And then there was a sofa that it looked like the kids or somebody, the locals, would probably come out there and use the hull of the boat to build their fire in it. And then they would sit there probably and drink their beer. And there was just trash everywhere. And I was just amazed by that. I can't believe it, that there's a freaking boat. Good night, Mr. Trotter. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it wasn't a great big boat, but it was a pretty good sized boat, Mike from Van Life Sheldon's Travels. It was probably 16 foot. I imagine it was the hull of a 16-foot boat. The entire inside of the boat was gone. The steering and all, there was nothing. It was just the hull because it was all burned out. But it's still out there. I guarantee you could go out there. Nomad and Broken, van life doom and gloom sucks because it's not. I agree with that. That's why that Rob with Little House on the Highway kind of gets on my nerves a little bit, because the ones of us that are actually doing this, I mean, there's so much freedom to it. One of the reasons that I got into the van life is living here in LA. I had a studio that was a live work studio that was about 3,300 square foot, and I paid $3,300 a month for it. And when my business started dropping off, my commercial photography business started shrinking in about 2012, 2013. That became a very big monthly payment to pay the rent on my studio. And I almost worried myself sick, trying to keep up with that. And moving and being and living in my Snap-on truck and having an office and stuff, I mean, I don't really miss having a sticks and bricks. I mean, there are things that are they're easier. I mean, like cooking your food and all that stuff. That's all easier if you live in a house. I'm not going to lie to you about that and say living in a vehicle is easier. It's not easier for those kinds of things. But as far as being free, having a freedom, there's a lot more freedom to the van life, and that's what people, that's why people want to do it. But with Rob, I know what Rob is doing with Little House on the Highway is he's just growing his YouTube channel, because the doom and gloom, for those people that are all into the doom and gloom, that sells. And people will, they're all like, yeah, it's terrible. Nobody talks about how terrible van life really is. And I don't find it to be terrible. I mean, if I wanted to rent a place tomorrow, I could go rent a place. I don't want to, because I'm too cheap now. I don't want to spend that money. I like having my truck. All I want to do is get my truck built out exactly like I want it. And I won't have any inclination of wanting to buy a house or sticks and bricks. I love the van life. I've done party time since the 90s. I kept it clean. Yep, that's the main thing, is keeping it clean. Keeping your rig clean too. All right, guys, we are an hour and 48 minutes. 32 thumbs up. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, guys, if you've enjoyed the stream, hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. See if we have any more cool overlays here before we end this thing. See what this one does. Oh, I did that one already. See what this one is. Oh, there we go. That looks just like me, right? You literally can't tell the difference. It's like twins. Oh, there we go. That's what I want for the new year. Nah, not really. This one's cool. I'm just trying to annoy Paul Barger, but I think he's gone. Paul says, ain't no shame in my game. All right, guys, we were going to do this for an hour. Oh, Paul's still here. Woohoo, great stream. Rick Kemple, later, Rav. Good to see you again tonight. Thanks, Rick. Thanks for stopping in. I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Like I said, I was just going to go for an hour, and we're pushing an hour and 2 hours, an hour and 49 minutes. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to my second live stream. I will be doing these on the regular because they're a lot easier than these are lazy YouTuber streams is what they are, because they're so much easier than freaking setting down or filming a video all day and setting down for hours and editing in it. But I'm going to get back to editing videos, doing videos as well. And I'm just going to use these to fill in, to basically, they're so much more personal though. These are so much more personal, which is what I love about it, being able to talk to you guys. We have another train coming. That's going to do it, guys. Peace, everyone. Good night. Thank you for tuning in to my stream. And remember, everything you've ever wanted is sitting right on the other side of fear. Good night.